Hi, my name is Paulo Mahano, and this is my presentation on an augmented reality app for photography students called Light and Shadow. With this app, students can virtually enter a full-size photo studio in 3D by using a smartphone or an iPad and the Augmented Reality app. In this virtual space, students can study different lighting setups from different points of view in an immersive and interactive environment while learning from home. The idea for this app came about when the first COVID restrictions started in March 2020, and students found it impossible to use the spaces that they usually would be working in for photo classes. The pivot to online learning, as most educators probably remember, happened very quickly. Students had to adapt to learning from home, most of the time working on their own to follow the online lessons posted by instructors. For our art and photography classes, delivering the content through video lessons, diagrams, and detailed explanations on the course website became a very viable way of providing the instruction for students. And based on the results that students were able to achieve through the online classes, most students were successful in learning the techniques and the concepts of photography and working independently. In this type of learning environment, one of the main challenges is for students to keep a sense of engagement and connection with the course, as well as working in a way that gives them confidence in their mastery of the course content. In my classes in person, for the intro photo classes, the studio lighting section of the course is particularly popular with students. They often collaborate as they start to feel comfortable using the lights and also make the project relevant to themselves by photographing friends or family members. A lot of times students spend many hours working on the photos for this particular lesson and creating projects that are meaningful for them. Some of the qualities of this lesson when it's held in person in the photo studio is that it is very much immersive. Students are able to see the lighting from different points of view and get a sense of the relationship between the model and the setup of the lights. The lesson is also quite interactive. Students can put what they learn into practice right away by moving the lights around, and that way they can get a good idea of the effect that the different light setups will have on the subject and on the final photograph. The augmented reality app for this lesson needed to have some of those qualities. It needed to be immersive and also have some level of interactivity that the students could use. In addition, there were a couple of other requirements that the app needed in order to be useful for students. It needed to be accessible in very common devices, and such as a smartphone. And the app also needed to be easy to use for people without a very high level of technical ability. Something similar to a gaming app in a smartphone would be the ideal level to make it accessible for most students. The final augmented reality app recreates the entire photo lighting studio we use in in-person classes to bring some of the interactivity of the in-person lessons to remote learning. With this app, you can step into a virtual photography studio anywhere you are. You can view different lighting setups in 3D and learn about the basics of studio portrait lighting in an interactive environment. The app makes use of 3D graphics and scanned 3D models to let users move around the full-size photo studio. They can examine the position of one or two light setups from different points of view.
The app was developed during the COVID-19 restrictions, during the months when students couldn't attend in-person classes. One of the main goals of this app is to use augmented reality, an iPhone or an iPad, to add interactivity to remote learning. Users can see the exact placement of lights around the model to create different lighting effects, from very even lighting to very dramatic light with contrast.
Students can see a description for each of the light setups, and they can also physically interact with the scene by moving close or standing back. And you can also choose to see the scene in black and white or color. Although originally developed for photo students at university level, the app is available for free to anyone interested in photographic lighting wherever they are.